चित्रावती तट विशाल सुंदर साई,
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 अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य 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 साई,
मेरे बाबा साई, मेरे बाबा साई, यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई,
यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई,
यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई,
यमुना तीर श्री कृष्णा कन्हैया साई,
अवधूत चिंतना गुरुदेवा सत्य 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 साई,
शिरडी बाबा साई, पटी बाबा साई,
शिरडी बाबा साई, पति बाबा साई,
शिरडी बाबा साई, पटी बाबा साई,
शिरडी बाबा साई, पति बाबा साई,
मेरे बाबा साई,
बाबा साई,
मेरे बाबा साई, चित्रावती तट विशाल सुंदर साई,
Mother, oh Mother Sai Ma, you mean the whole world to me, Sai Ma. Mother, oh Mother Sai Ma, you mean the whole world to me, Sai Ma. Mother, oh Mother Sai Ma, you are the light of my life, Sai Ma. Mother, oh Mother Sai Ma. कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तवम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्।
My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our infinite omnipresent Lord Bhagawan Sri Sathya Saibaba. A happy new year and Sairam to all devotees across this beautiful country of Canada and our guests from abroad. I hope with Swami's grace that you and your families are keeping well and healthy. This evening, we have with us someone who needs absolutely no introduction, Brother Aravind Balasubramanya. Most of you would have watched his talks on YouTube and other retreats. He's an ardent devotee of our dearest Bhagawan, and he has been entrusted with an incredible responsibility of conveying with his own unique experiences the message that the Avatar has come to share. And he wears this responsibility with a deep devotion and unwavering dedication. It's a great opportunity for all of us to benefit from his insights on the topic of Dharma Vahini. The Vahini series carries with it a unique characteristic, and that it was penned on paper by none other than Bhagawan himself, and then translated to English by Professor N. Kasturi. Lastly, I'd like to thank the National Devotional Team for organizing this beautiful session. I hope all of you enjoy it, and may it be a wonderful start to the new year. Om Jai Sri Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, dear brothers and sisters, young adults and children, wish you all a very happy and blissful new year. I have the pleasure and privilege to introduce our speaker for today, Sai Brother Aravind. And just as Brother Shiva just said, he needs no introduction, as many of us are very familiar with his blogs on Swami's teachings and life lessons, which we so eagerly view and learn from on YouTube every week. So for those few who don't know him, here is a brief bio of Brother Aravind. Aravind Balasubramanya hails from a family that has been devoted to Bhagawan Sri Sathya Saibaba for nearly half a century. He has been Swami's student from high school and followed it by studying BSc, MSc, and MBA from Swami's institution. It was in the institute that he got several opportunities to speak in the divine presence, act in many presentations and plays, and also pursue photography, which he picked up from his dear father. He was careful in recording almost every day that he spent in the physical proximity of his Lord via his many personal diaries and photographs. Blessed by Baba to join Radio Sai Global Harmony, which has been singly responsible in spreading the message and life of Bhagawan to all parts of the globe, he conducted a host of activities there, including the Thursday live satsangs, producing documentaries on Swami and his message, and of course, writing articles. After Bhagawan's Mahasamadhi in April 2011, Aravind started to write blogs based on what he had recorded in his personal diaries and experiences of several students. The blogs hit 1 million views, and based on feedback from readers, he was inspired to write a couple of books. More than all this, Aravind has tremendous love and devotion for Swami, his biggest and greatest hero. That's what propels him to excel in any and all endeavors that he takes up, be it writing, speaking, photography, or video editing. He presently works and lives in Bangalore, India. Brother Aravind will speak for about an hour, after which we will have a Q&A session. You're all welcome to post your questions on the YouTube chat line, and we will pose those questions to Brother Aravind after his talk. So without further ado, I would like to invite Brother Aravind to enthrall us with his interpretation of Dharma Vahini. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan. Before I begin, I would just like to confirm with the organizers that the audio and video are fine, and then I shall proceed.
It's fine, brother.
Yeah, okay. So, first of all, I'm grateful to Swami for this opportunity to think about him, speak about him, and listen about him, because as I speak, the ears closest to my mouth are my own, and therefore I'm undertaking this as an opportunity for self-improvement and self-growth. That is what it is. Whatever be the activities, whatever be the things that we do as part of the Sri Sathya Sai organization, let us always remember that we are doing it for our own self-growth, for our benefit. It is not to serve the world or serve the society that we are doing. Let us never be under that misunderstanding. First of all, that was it. Second of all, let me congratulate all of you for having undertaken this study over the past several weeks, studying the Dharma Vahini in depth, reading the words written by the Lord. I firmly believe that the words written by Swami, penned by Swami, are like seeds that we can plant in our hearts. And whenever the time is ripe, the seeds will flower, they will grow into saplings and into trees, yielding flowers, fruits, everything, all at the right time. I'm saying this because for some of us, reading the Dharma Vahini would have been an experience where we feel everything in sync with what we think intuitively, while for some others, we might be on the other extreme where we understand absolutely nothing of it. It feels like a lot of rules and points and conditions and things that we need to remember and do. Very, very difficult. And oh my God, how can I lead my life if all these things I have to keep in mind? And the remaining of us are in between these two ends of the spectrum, from understanding nothing to the other end where everything feels so normal. Yeah, this is how it is. This is what it is. So that is why I say that not just the Dharma Vahini, whether it's the Jnana Vahini, Prashanti Vahini, Sutra Vahini, anything, even if we read one of them, it's enough. It's not that we need to read everything. It's not a syllabus. It's not something like school or university education that we need to complete before getting the degree. In fact, Swami says that any one teaching of his also, if we follow, it's more than enough. If we are able to follow it sincerely with Shraddha and Saburi. Shraddha meaning faith and Saburi meaning perseverance, not giving it up when the going gets rough. Even to do that for one teaching, it's more than enough. So in that sense, this exercise of reading the Dharma Vahini is an exercise of planting many seeds in the soil of our heart, and it's left to Bhagwan when he sends the rains, which will make these seeds grow into crops. And like it happens with all the rains, as we plant these noble seeds, a lot of weeds also start growing. These are the weeds of doubts. That's what happens. And therefore, it is natural that they also grow. And it is again Swami's grace that we'll be able to weed them out through different processes. The most important being our own experience and our own exposure to his teachings. So, with that introduction, let me begin with how it was a deja vu for me when Sister Kamala told me that would you be ready to do a seminar on Dharma Vahini? My mind and my heart immediately went back to the year 2004 when we had attempted a similar foolhardy or brave venture, trying to understand the Dharma Vahini and explain it through a program. Let me give you a brief background. Those were the years 2003, 2004, when Swami was encouraging us students to put up programs in his physical presence. Till those years, the programs that we see happening even to this day across the world, whether it is dramas or presentations or music programs, these were all not very common before 2003. It all started in 2003 with the students as the first example. It's very interesting how Swami has used the students as instruments to initiate many things, be it the Grama Seva, or be it bhajans, be it all the activities, whether it is devotional, whether it is karma based, whether it is jnana based discussions. Swami uses the students as a small sample with which he begins the experiment or activity. It's not an experiment because Swami is absolutely clear on what has to be done. He starts the activity and slowly others also, pick it up and start doing the same. So this was the year when Swami began to encourage us to put up programs in his physical presence. And it started off with little skits, little dramas on important festivals like Shivratri, Guru Purnima. And the best thing was, Swami was so loving and encouraging that um, even if we don't do a good job of it, today when I look back at the videos of some of those programs that we put up in Swami's presence, I feel so, oh my God, how could we do this? I possibly wouldn't do that even on a Zoom talk like this nowadays, because that is the respect, that is the regard and reverence that needs to be given to Swami. It's not that back then we were irreverential. It was just that we were kids. We had no idea, and we wanted to do anything that Swami liked us to do. We wanted to do things that will make Swami happy. And if Swami wanted us to put up a program, we were ready to put up a program. So it began like that. And the best incentive was at the end of the program, Swami would pose with us for photographs. Swami would bless us with different items, maybe a pen or maybe some sweets. It was amazing opportunity to get an interaction with Swami, and therefore that was something we would look forward to. And after a couple of programs, in the beginning it's very easy. We can speak on some things, sing some songs. Afterwards, we need to ensure that we have content coming readily. Now when I keep making weekly videos, 2 videos every week, I realize how difficult it is also to keep getting new and fresh content. Yes, Swami's stories, Swami's Leelas are endless. There are millions of them out there. But we need to make that effort to go and look for Swami's content, to go and have that interest to listen to Swami, to hear Swami. That doesn't come easily. That is something for which we need to put in effort. And therefore, even back then, we were wondering, now, what do we do? What is the next program on? What should be the theme? Because it soon became like, Swami would come out for darshan and he would look at the warden and ask, what is the program today? And the warden would say, Swami, today there's no program. Then Swami would say, okay, then I'll not come out after the interviews. I'll sit in the interview room only. Why should I come out anyway? There's no program. Swami almost made it like, if there is no program, why should I even come out? I'll be outside, inside only. It's all with a purpose. And so now, it became like a responsibility on us. Like when we do a program, It is not just that we are getting benefit. Swami is going to come and sit outside for half an hour, 1 hour. Everybody gets to have the darshan, So, so like how we feel, right? When we do seva, we are doing it for the sake of the world. We are not just doing it for ourselves. Even back then, we would feel, no, we have to do programs, because devotees need to get darshan. We need to do it for them. Swami gives us all these advantages, make us feel that we are doing something grand for the world. Like how that squirrel in Ramayana was made to feel that you're contributing to building a bridge towards Lanka, which Lord Rama needs. What the squirrel did is nothing. But that is the compassion of the Lord. So he would allow us to put a program like that. Okay, enough of that elaborate introduction to the program. The thing is, in the summer of 2004, when some of us were at Vrindavan, we would not go home for vacation because vacation would be where Swami is. During the many Trai sessions, a Trai session is when Swami calls all the students inside his own residence at Bangalore and Vrindavan. And in that Trai Vrindavan, which is the name of his residence, Swami would sit on an ornate swing, the jhula, and then he would tell some students to speak, some teachers to speak, or Swami would speak. Anything could happen. Once we had a video show on some on the inspirational life of Mirabai and other saints. Sometimes we had even a mimicry, a puppet show, different modes of entertainment that would focus our mind onto Swami. And the best thing is Swami would be physically present throughout that. So during such Trai sessions that year, Swami spoke quite a few times on this concept of dharma. What is dharma? Why we should follow dharma? And let me tell you, after being exposed to that for so long, also, if somebody were to suddenly ask me what is dharma, it's very difficult. I mean, you have also been through this study for so long, having read through the entire Dharma Vahini. I saw the beautiful, concise presentation that you have made of 29 or 30 slides summarizing the Dharma Vahini. Despite all of that, our understanding is shown if we are able to answer what is dharma to a 10-year-old child within a minute. If we are not able to tell that, that means our understanding is not concrete, because because there is so much. So that time also I had made a lot of notes. Some of us had made a lot of notes, but it is very difficult to understand what is dharma. But because Swami was speaking of it, we all thought that, when Swami comes back to Puttaparthi, when the new academic year begins, the first program, let's do on dharma. The easiest way we felt to please Swami was to do something that is close to his heart. So, because, multiple times we have realized that when we put up something, when we do a program, it doesn't matter what the world thinks. What matters is if Swami is happy. Because if Swami is happy, I don't have the time to go into that experience now, but you put up something that is not so great, and yet if Swami is happy, the whole world will be happy. If Swami applauds, the whole world will applaud. If Swami is not happy, nobody in Kulwant Hall will applaud. That is metaphorical in our life as well. When we do things that make Swami happy, that's enough. And I think that could be one beautiful definition of dharma: actions that make Swami happy. But if we have to accept this definition that dharma is actions that make Swami happy, we will have to have the knowledge of what is it that makes Swami happy. And again, for that, we require our sadhana of going into Swami's teachings, reading Swami's life, the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita. When I say Bhagavad Gita, it is Swami's teachings. When I say Bhagavatam, it is Swami's life. We need to know both of this, and then only we can know what is dear to Swami. So here we were having prepared a program on dharma. Apart from Swami's discourses, like how I have done in the past couple of weeks, we went through the Dharma Vahini in super fast speed, revising and revisiting and trying to understand and making notes. This is what we did. And when Swami came to Puttaparthi, definitely, without fail, he asked the warden, is there any program ready? Then we had told the warden, yes, tell Swami we are ready with the program. And he said, yes, Swami, they're ready with the program. And Swami called us and asked, what program you're putting? I said, Swami, we are putting it on dharma, Swami, Atma-dharma and Paradharma. Swami said, oh, very good, very good. And, we were in for a surprise because the very next day, Swami called the Vice Chancellor and told him, Swami gave an introduction. Imagine what a thing, that is Swami's love. The way he would, when Swami praises us, I used to feel that Swami, we are not worthy of any of that. But Swami would praise because I think that is the standard that he's expecting from us. That is how I take it. So Swami made the Vice Chancellor introduce us, saying that the senior most students in the university, that year we were in the second year post graduation, so we were the senior most. So the senior most students of the university are going to make a presentation on dharma, and all of you must listen to it carefully because it will be of great value. It will be an honor, it will be a privilege to listen to all of this. And that's why I said it was deja vu, because I see a similar kind of situation when you introduce saying that it will be enlightening to listen to me speak on dharma. Anyway, we got up and we started the program, and it was so theory heavy. Usually our programs would have a lot of songs, a lot of skits, but when we go through the Dharma Vahini, it feels like a lot of theory. And actually it is not. It is a practical experience, but when we read through like that, it feels like a lot of theory, a lot of things to remember: this dharma, that dharma, paradharma, atma-dharma, stri dharma, dharma as a student. Oh god, so many things to remember for the examination, that kind of a feeling. And when we presented that, I could see visibly, the whole audience in the hall were getting so bored, so bored. And when you see a bored audience, it's a very, very depressing kind of situation. It deflates you, and it's like, oh God. Then you look at to the side, look at the teachers. They're also like, when will this end, and when will this torture end, kind of. And oh God. Luckily for us, whenever we would look at Swami would be sitting there with his eyes big, wide open, gleam, a twinkle, and listening and nodding. That was the only motivating thing. So we decided, okay, let's look at Swami. Again, this is a lesson for life. When we look for feedback in the world, when we look, yeah, sometimes we'll get good feedback, sometimes we'll get bad feedback. Let's not get carried away by that, because it just keeps fluctuating. Our success, our joy comes from what joy or what Swami is responding to. In short, the whole program was, in my opinion, a big flop, because I don't think anybody felt inspired or motivated. Everybody were bored. That is what I felt the whole thing was. And it was more like talk after talk. It was 8 of us speaking in turns, one after another, dharma, 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 this, dharma, that, dharma. So much so that at the end of the program, immediately after telling Jai Sai Ram, I was concluding it. I concluded and just turned and went to Swami. And seeing me, the other boys also came. We all gathered around Swami, and I said, Swami, we don't know anything about Dharma, Swami. Something we went and blabbered there. Just told it off. Swami said, good, okay. What did you speak? Swami asked. What did you? Yeah, that is what. Swami asked, what did you speak? Yes, Swami, we also don't know what we spoke. It was nonsense, Swami. Something half digested. Swami, what you had said, we heard. What you had written in Dharma Vahini, we read. Something, Swami, please forgive us. Swami said, wait. Then Swami called the Vice Chancellor again. And Swami said, you heard what all they spoke? I thought, Swami, if you want to scold us privately. Don't do in front of these. Because, Swami doesn't carry things in his heart. He just gives the feedback and is done with that. But if he tells some of the Vice Chancellor or tells the teachers, and it will affect our future programs. Next time we'll do programs, they'll tell, no, we need to do quality control. We need to check. We need to see what it is. And oh God, the freedom that we have, the freedom of expression, all of that will be gone. I was fearing all of that. And so, or versus they will tell, no, you don't put up programs now, because it's. But then, after telling the Vice Chancellor, did you listen what they spoke? Swami began to wave his palm. He materialized Vibhuti. And he gave all of us. And Swami said, they spoke so well. Oh my God. I'm telling you, it was not as if it was some great presentation, as I said, but Swami's love. Swami said, they spoke so well. And Swami said, if people can understand even a little bit of what they said, they will all benefit. The Vice Chancellor took it in a positive way, but I was thinking, yes, Swami, the way we have, regurgitated this undigested mass. If people are able to understand, they will definitely benefit, because it was so ununderstandable. That is how I was looking at it. But the way the vice chancellor, the teachers, everyone looked at it was like Swami said that they have done such a good job. Even if a little bit of that you can imbibe, you will all benefit. And after that, we had the same teachers, who were sitting like this, so bored, and when will this end? They coming and congratulating. Very nice, so wonderful. All of that is just because of that vibhuti. Otherwise, they would have just burnt us and made us vibhuti with their feedback. But that is the story of how Swami resurrected and brought back from the ashes, literally, a program that was half baked, half prepared, half cooked. And that is when I realized that, see, what I understand, what I know, what I'm speaking, none of that actually matters, as long as I ensure that what I'm thinking, what I'm speaking, and what I'm doing is something that will make Swami happy. And that is how I define truth. Truth is something that I speak that makes Swami happy. Dharma is something that I do that makes Swami happy. And Shanti is the thought that I think that makes Swami happy. And that is the unity of thought, word, and deed. And even as this understanding I got of Dharma, I came across this beautiful quote of Swami where Swami says, "Love in words is truth. Love in action is righteous dharma. Love in thoughts is peace." And that is what it is. Ultimately, it boils down to love. Love that is expressed through our words is Satya. Love, prema that expresses through our actions is Dharma. Prema that expresses through our thoughts is Shanti. And therefore, that is the unity of thought, word, and deed, the Trikarna Shuddhi that Swami would speak about. Trikarna Shuddhi. Uh, Often we would translate it as unity of thought, word, and deed, meaning you think the same thing, speak the same thing, do the same thing. Swami would say, Manas ekam, vachas ekam, karman ekam, mahatmanam. You become a mahatma having the same thought, same word, and same deed. But if you manas anyat, vachas anyat, karman anyat, duratmanam. You think something, speak something else, do an entirely different thing, you're a duratma, meaning a bad soul, a wicked soul. With this, the question would arise, so if I think of killing someone, speak of killing someone, and go and kill someone, does it make me a Mahatma? That is where I feel the translation gets wrong. Trikarna Shuddhi is a Sanskrit term. Shuddhi means purity. So it's not just unity of thought, word, and deed. It's unity, purity, and harmony of thought, word, and deed. All three need to be there. So it's not just about having the same thought, word, and deed, but ensuring that that thought, word, and deed are also pure. So therefore, that I would feel is the best definition. A child, even a 10-year-old, will understand what is dharma. Dharma is love in action. Not love in action, but love in action. Because most of the time we get into love in action, wherein we do things without love. We do it just for the sake of completion. Even whether it comes to seva or anything, many times, if it's not motivated by love, we get into achieving targets, we get into the kind of corporate mindset even in our actions. That doesn't help. So now that we have an understanding of what is dharma, I'm sure this is just my way of understanding. This is an evolution that happens. We don't know where the seed is, what is the size of the plant in each one of our hearts. So based on the size of the plant in my heart, I'm saying, so that is dharma. And it is important in a practical term. Therefore, like if anybody asks how, so if you say that dharma is love in action, the next question will be, how do I know that whatever I'm doing is love in action? And therefore you will have to write points. That's how you get a code, a code of conduct, or some rules, if you can say. So in a practical sense, dharma therefore becomes rules, guidelines, and proper code of conduct that we need to follow. Again, we should not forget the basis, so that we don't forget the spirit in following the word. When we forget that, that is when we come across what we call as dharma sankat or moral dilemmas. Should I do this or this? Is my duty as a mother more important, or my duty as a Balvikas Guru more important? Is my duty as a father more important, or my duty as a patriot of my country more important? Should I travel and leave India and settle in Canada for the sake of my child's education? Which dharma is more important? So all of that happens when our understanding and focus is more on the word than the spirit, and all of that is beautifully explained in the Dharma Vahini. It is important that we follow dharma, because without the rules, regulations and guidelines, it's like playing a game. If we take the game of soccer, recently the football soccer world cup has concluded. Imagine a game of soccer without rules. It'll go haywire. You just can't have any meaning of it. I'll kick anywhere and that's a goal. No, you have to kick in between those two goalposts only. You can't push somebody. You do something, you get back. You push somebody and commit a foul, you'll get a yellow card or you'll get a red card, you'll be sent out of the game. And therefore, the concept of dharma is what brings the concept of karma as well. You do good, you get good. You do bad, you get bad. And that's why Swami says, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma protects those who protect dharma. Dharma eva hato hanti. Dharma destroys those who destroy dharma. And again, this is the concept of karma that gets so strongly embedded with the concept of dharma. And sometimes we say, no, people do junk and get away with it. People do rubbish, nonsense and get away with it. I have been doing all good, I don't get reward. Yeah, because again, for that we go into the rules of karma. There is a different set of rules that happen in karma. It's not like the action reaction is instantaneous. Swami would say, when somebody pricks you with a pin, you immediately withdraw your hand. Instantaneous reaction. But when you eat food, you get a belch, or your food gets digested after a few hours, because that's a little delayed reaction. But if you plant a seed, the tree will come only after 5 years. That's extremely delayed. So different reactions to our actions have different reaction times. And therefore, because of having different reaction times, the reaction to an action that I'm doing today may come after 3 years. So if I've done a good deed now, and the reaction to that good deed comes after 3 years, suppose 3 years later I'm doing something that is bad, that is wrong, I can, wrongly mistake that, hey, you look at this, I did something bad and I won the lottery and I got rewarded. So it doesn't matter whether I do good or bad. No. It is just, we think life, if A hash is the reaction to an action called A, we think that life is A hash, B hash, C hash. No, life is not like that. Life is A P hash, B Z hash, C hash, which means sometimes the reactions are immediate. Sometimes the reaction takes a lot of time to happen. So because of which we get confused thinking that, hey, he did bad and he got rewarded. I did good and I got punished. It's not like that. Good always begets good, bad always begets bad, and therefore we have to follow dharma. So I remember once Professor Nanjundaya sir, who was formerly the controller for examinations in the Sri Sathya University, he was traveling in the car with Swami and he was quite upset because at that time a lot of people had written things and spoken things in the media very critical of Swami, accusing Swami of several wrong things. He was so upset and he said, Swami, you are the one who has absolute control over our thoughts, words and deeds. We can't even think something if your will is not there. So Swami, these people who criticize you, they are, I don't know what words he used for them, but he said that, Swami, you should will that they are not able to write only. They should not be able to think also. Punish them, not punish them, but that is what it is, because what they're doing is wrong. Swami said, hey, you have no right to pray like that. You have no right to pray like that. Swami said, they have been given that freedom, that choice. They can do what they want with it. So you have no right to pray that they should be stopped. So just imagine if some adharmic thing is happening. Swami said, you have no right to tell that they should be stopped. They should not have the freedom. They have been given that freedom, they can do that. Then he said, Swami, then Swami, I don't want to listen to any of this. I don't want to read any of this. Please ensure that I cannot, that my eyes don't fall on anything such terrible things. My ears don't fall on any such things. So he said, this you can pray. This you can ask for, I'll grant. So he said, yes, Swami, please grant that. So therefore, when we see these things, when we see adharmic things happening, yes, we don't go to adharma. Adharma is basically things that Swami would not be happy with. Again, for that, we need to understand what is it. Things that are not done with love. That's very easy to understand, because love is something we all of us feel in our heart. Even a newborn baby that doesn't have any intelligence to understand, no experience in life, understands love. So love is something all of us feel in the heart. If there is any place, any person, any situation where there is no love, we can be sure that there is no dharma there. That there is no dharma there. So get away from that. And we have no right to pray that Swami stop that person. Therefore, we don't have a right to pray negative for somebody. Swami, let this person be struck down. How terrible he is. How terrible she is. No, nothing. Let me be away. But after that, Swami added a sentence. Swami said, see, so God gives the freedom to do, but based on what you do, you cannot escape the consequences. You have to face it. So, in a way, Dharma relieves us of that as well. When we get feelings of anger or irritation or revenge, that this happened, no need. No need. Without us asking, Dharma will automatically take care. And maybe we are lucky, when Dharma strikes, we will be there to see it also. But anyway, that is not something we should pray for, but it happens. Human tendency is to feel that those who do bad, we want to see bad happening to them. But life is not about that. Life is not about others at all. Life is about our own growth to Swami. And therefore, we ensure that we are following Dharma. This is another beautiful point that Swami emphasizes in the Dharma Vahini. Because again, the thought comes, why should I follow Dharma? Everybody is being adharmic. Everybody is doing all nonsense, all terrible things they're doing. What is the use of me following following Dharma? Swami says that Dharma is like a lamp in your hand. And the world is like a dark room strewn with furniture and so many obstacles. Swami says, when you hold a lamp in your hand, you will be able to navigate the room. Others may actually crash into the furniture if their lamp is switched off. But the lamp in your hand will ensure that you can navigate. Your dharma will protect you. It's highly personalized as well. So your dharma will take care of. That is why we have those situations where everybody seems to be getting affected, but you are taken care of in a way. It happens like that. I mean, that is how it is. Dharma, there is a societal dharma, there is a family dharma. It happens. Swami would say both ways. Because of the community that we keep, Swami would say at night one mosquito bites you. And in the morning you spray insecticide and kill all the mosquitoes. The other mosquitoes will tell you, I didn't do anything here. I didn't, why I had to die? Because you were friends with that mosquito that bit. No, that's it. That's why Swami would say, take care of the company you keep. So dharma is personal. At the same time, dharma, works at a community level. It works at a societal level. And that's why, understanding it becomes so difficult. I mean, that's why Dharma Shastras are there. The entire thing. Dharma Vahini itself is so many pages long. A precise and concise summary of Dharma Vahini itself is 30 slides long. Reading that itself was so difficult for me, because so much is there and I don't think I'll be able to cover all of that. So there is a lot. But if we tune into the fundamental, we will be in tune with our conscience and we will know precisely what needs to be done at what time. That is the beautiful thing about Dharma. And that's why I feel we focus on Swami and love. Because once that is right, automatically we will know what needs to be done in any situation. When we look at the Ramayana, here I'm just assuming that everyone knows the story of Ramayana in some detail. For those who don't know, please forgive me for the next 5 minutes because it may not make much sense. But Rama is told by Dasharatha that you go to the forest. The same Dasharatha falls at Rama's feet almost, crying, Please don't go to the forest. I was foolish in telling you stay back. Now, should Rama go to the forest or not go to the forest? The same person is telling him go, and same person is saying, sorry, I made a mistake, don't go. Why did he choose to go? Then the killing of Vali. Why did Rama kill Vali like that? Is that right? To hide and kill. Then when Sita, sending Sita to the forest, so many situations, there Rama is saying that he's acting like a king. Should he act like a king or should he act like a husband? Doesn't he have a duty of a husband? These are what we call as dharma sankat, or moral dilemmas, when one dharma seems to be clashing against another. And it is not just about moral dilemmas, just to give an analogy. I think I have another 20 minutes possibly, right? Yeah. So to give another analogy, when we look at Swami's discourses, in one discourse, Swami says, you have no right to ask anything from anybody. The only person you should seek from is God. In fact, Swami says that. Swami says that you should not even accept anything that anybody gives you. Look at Swami's ideal. Swami says that the only people from whom you can accept are your parents. And with your parents also, you have no right to demand. What they give you, you can accept. That's fine. But you should not accept anything from anybody else. And demanding, you have the right to demand only from God, nobody else. Now, Swami tells that in one discourse. In another discourse, and possibly on some occasions in the same discourse, Swami says, Adugakue o manasa. Oh mind, don't ask for anything. Because when you ask, it will be denied. I'm not able to get the entire Telugu poem now, but the poem goes this way. Don't ask, O mind, because if you ask, it will be denied. Don't ask, God will automatically grant it to you. Hey, Swami, wait a minute. No, you're saying here that demand from God, it's your right. And here you're telling, don't ask, just shut up and you will get what is good. Which should I follow? And if we listen to Swami's discourses at a superficial or a intellectual level, we will come across so many contradictions. Where Swami is saying, do this, and Swami is saying, do this. No, Swami, which should I do? This or this? And I say superficial or intellectual because it's in the level of the mind that these contradictions exist. If we go deep within, we know. For instance, in Swami's discourse also, why is it that Swami would apparently contradict himself? Now, just imagine you are a teacher and you have to take a class. You ask, which class do I have to take? Because if you have to take grade 1 class, what you teach is going to be different from a grade 6 class. It's going to be different from what you'll teach in a grade 12 class. It's going to be different from what you'll teach in a university postgraduate or a PhD class. So suppose you are a master educator, you know the whole thing, you know the subject thoroughly. But depending on the age and maturity and experience of the child, you are going to speak. Now imagine they lead you to a class where you have a 6-year-old boy sitting there, you have a 15-year-old girl sitting there, and you have PhD scholars also sitting there, and they tell you to take a class. What will you speak? You will just not be able to do anything. But the avatar, nothing is impossible for God. Swami did exactly that. When Swami rose to give his discourse, in front of him are kindergarten children, literally, postgraduate students, literally, and PhD students, literally, and metaphorically as well. Those who are just coming to know of spirituality, those who have been on the spiritual path for several years, maybe several lifetimes as well. And when I say children and adults on the field of spirituality, I'm not referring to the physical age. Because, there might be a soul that has gone through so much of spiritual growth across lifetimes. That's where karma comes in along with dharma. And now is prepared. So that is the kind of classroom Swami had to deliver his lecture to. And therefore, Swami would speak things that are relevant for the kindergarten as well as for the PhD. He would speak everything. And so beautifully, Swami made our heart resonate with what is perfect for us. There was a teacher, Nageshwar Rao sir, chemistry lecturer. He used to, every time Swami would deliver a discourse when we were students, in the next class, he'll call, we were about 15 to 20 of us in the chemistry class, postgraduate MSc chemistry. He would ask us, oh, tell me what Swami said. Next, you tell. Each one of us would be given one sentence or two sentences within 30 seconds. You have to tell what Swami said in the discourse. And believe it or not, at the end of that exercise, I would feel whether all of us were sitting in the same discourse. Because, each one is like, if a third party who has not heard Swami's discourse will wonder, hey, did you all attend the same discourse? Why is each one giving a different summary of Swami's discourse? Even now, if you ask all among you who participated in this sadhana of reading the Dharma Vahini, summarize the Dharma Vahini in 30 seconds or in 2 sentences, I bet that none of your sentences will match. Because each one has been touched by a different aspect, has been motivated, inspired by a different aspect, depending on which class you are in, whether you are in 1st grade or 6th grade or 12th grade or postgraduate. That only Swami knows and you know in your heart. So that is how Swami would deliver his discourse. There is no contradiction there. There was, in fact, it's not that one person interprets the same way. Over time, our understanding also changes. There was a time when I would ask everything, even the tiniest of things to Swami. Everything I will ask you, Swami. I will ask. At that time, I realized that I was deaf to Swami saying, don't ask, shut up. Somehow it never registered, it never inspired, it never motivated. What always I would feel is, here is Swami, I can ask him anything. But now, Swami knows. I rarely ask him for anything. I don't ask at all. Because I feel by asking, I'll be asking for something less. There was this shopkeeper who would hand out chocolates to children on festival days, who would tell the children, come, here is a box of chocolates. Take as much as you want. Today is a free day. And all children would put their hands and take as many chocolates and run away. There was this one boy who would never ask. He would just stand and tell, no, I don't want. And he said, no, take today. All the children are taking. You also take. No. Whatever you give, I'll take. And the shopkeeper says, okay, take, and gives. Everyone felt that this child is such a well-behaved child. The child said, no. You see, if I put my hand and pull out, I get only 5 chocolates. But if I tell the shopkeeper to give and he puts his hand and gives, no, I get 15 chocolates. So it's better that he only gives. That is the maturity that comes with God as well. You feel, no, let me not ask because I'll ask something less. When God gives, it'll be amazing. So it depends, which teaching to follow. So which message of Swami to follow, it depends on our level of spiritual growth and it resonates. The same way it happens with Dharma, it's an evolving process. That is why you and me can't do what Lord Rama did. And therefore we feel that what Lord Rama did is wrong. How can he leave his wife? How can he do that? He doesn't care for his wife. No. I mean, before we think such things in haste, let us remember that forget the God part, that man walked across the entire subcontinent of India. Which man will do that for his wife? He walked across the entire subcontinent, facing immeasurable hardships, making friends with monkeys, squirrels, and bears, building a bridge and going and getting back his wife. So before we conclude that he didn't love his wife, no husband will do 1% of what Rama did for Sita. So I'm not going to go into why Rama did. Swami has given an explanation in the Ramkatha Rasa Vahini and in his discourses as well. It is there. And depending on our stage of evolution, we will resonate and we will understand. So when I don't understand the Lord's actions, it doesn't mean that the Lord's actions are wrong. It just means that my understanding has not grown. And I feel when we get into a study of Dharma and understanding of Dharma, this humility is very important. We think that we can pass judgment on Rama and Krishna and Swami. No, that was wrong. See, all is fine, but this is wrong. That is wrong. That ego has to break down. We need to have the humility that we don't understand anything. And it's only Swami's grace that we understand some things. In the Mahabharata, there is an episode. I'm sorry, I'm quoting from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. But basically, there is Dharmaraja, the eldest among the Pandava brothers, who always follows Dharma. That is why he's called Dharmaraja. But this Dharma Raja, therefore it is said that in the end, when people, based on their karmas, the karmas are dependent on how well you have followed your dharma. Based on their karmas, even the Pandavas have to undergo some time in hell, they say, because there are some negative things that they have done, and therefore they fall away and die. It is only Dharmaraja who is allowed to go in his earthly body, because his earthly body is supposed to be as pure as the divine body, because he has always followed dharma all his life. That is the power of dharma. But even that Dharmaraja had to experience hell for a few moments. And traditionally, it is said that it is because of a lie that he uttered. Dharmaraja's chariot, it is said, that was always used to be 1 inch above the ground, because he was not of this world. And God seemed to show that literally as well, that he doesn't belong to this world. That is his adherence to dharma. But a point comes when Dronacharya, he's actually the teacher of the Pandavas. He's fighting on the enemy side, the Kaurava side. He's just wrecking havoc in the Pandava camp. And Krishna comes and tells Dharmaraja that, the only weakness that Dronacharya has is his attachment to his son Ashwatthama. So Krishna, the Lord, calls Bhima and tells, kill one elephant whose name is Ashwatthama. And then tell Drona that Ashwatthama is dead. It is the truth only. It is the truth only, right? Ashwatthama is dead. But then, if anybody tells that Ashwatthama is dead, Drona will not believe, because he has trained Ashwatthama so well. But Dharmaraja, if you tell that the Ashwatthama is dead, then Drona will believe. And that's it. He will not have the will to live anymore. That is the only way to defeat him. So Yudhishthira, go and tell. And Yudhishthira says, no, Lord, that is adharma. That is adharma. Then Krishna tells, why it is adharma? Because that is a lie. No, Bhima is going to kill the elephant called Ashwatthama. Then Dharmaraja says, okay, then I will tell that Ashwatthama, the elephant, is dead. Krishna says, okay, fine, go ahead, do that. So Yudhishthira or Dharmaraja says, he goes near Drona and he says, Ashwatthama, the elephant, is dead. The thing is, when he says Ashwatthama Hata Kunjara, that's in Sanskrit. Ashwatthama Hata is dead, Kunjara, elephant. When he says that, when he's telling Kunjara, Krishna and Arjuna blow their conch so loud as a victory sign. And Drona is not able to hear the word Kunjara. He only listens to the term that Ashwatthama is dead. And therefore he gives up his life. And it is said that where the moment Yudhishthira or Dharmaraja said Ashwatthama Hata Kunjara, his chariot came to earth. And it is for that sin that he had to undergo hell. Again, it is Swami who clarified in the discourse. What is the sin that Dharmaraja committed? Not the sin that he told lies, as people often think. Swami said he second-guessed Krishna. He told Krishna that is adharma. What? You're telling Krishna that it is adharma? Because of that sin, he had to undergo hell for a few moments. Because he second-guessed Krishna. Not because he said Ashwatthama Hata Kunjara. Because whatever Krishna speaks is Satya. Whatever Krishna does is Dharma. Whatever Krishna thinks is Shanti. Whatever Swami speaks is Satya. Whatever Swami does is Dharma. Whatever Swami thinks is Shanti. We cannot understand what Swami thinks. So we can get an idea of his thoughts in his writings, in his words and his actions. And that is why it is so important that we understand and study Swami's life. I think I've just got about 5-6 minutes, and there's another very important concept that Swami speaks in the Dharma Vahini of Atma-dharma and Paradharma. And I think even getting an intellectual understanding of this is important to help us mature into understanding Dharma. Swami says there is Atma-dharma, which is fundamental, and Atma-dharma is just the statement of truth that all of us are embodiments of the same divinity. That's all is Atma-dharma. Atma-dharma is conviction that we are all divine. Paradharma is based on the form and the circumstances, desha, kala, paristhiti that I am born in. As a woman, I have a dharma. As a mother, I have a dharma. As a friend, I have a dharma. As a officer, or as depending on my profession, I have a dharma. All that comes under Paradharma. And I have an analogy which I use to make understanding easy for myself, I will conclude with that. So the analogy is like that of actors in a movie. When I act in a movie, I'm given a role, I'm given a script, I'm given a circumstance, I'm given everything. You are a poor person, you are a person who gets angry. Depending on that role that is given, I enact. So in the movie, when I'm saying, you get out, I don't like you, I actually don't have any hatred in my heart. I actually don't have any anger in my being. But that's my role. I'm supposed to do that and I'm doing it. But in my heart of hearts, I know that all of us are actors. I'm not poor. I'm not rich. We are all same. It's just that the role differs. That is what would happen to us students in a drama. The villain is not a villain. The hero is not a hero. It's just that Swami has given us those roles. That's what would happen when we are doing the convocation drama, because Swami himself would come and direct the drama and involve himself so much in the drama. And today I know that more than the drama, it is the drama behind the drama that is so important, because that's where we learned lessons for life. That drama would teach us dharma. And when we look at it, all of us are equally dear to Swami. There's no villain, there's no hero. It's not like the hero Swami loves and the villain Swami hates. Swami would love all of us equally. But that is the role. And remembering this fundamental that all of us are the same, it's the same divinity. And therefore, I'm not attached to anyone and I don't have any hatred towards anyone. We suffer from this only, raga and dvesha. Raga is attachment and dvesha is hatred. I like somebody, I dislike somebody. Likes and dislikes come when we forget the fundamental, the Atma-dharma, that hey, we are all actors. We are all the same. It's not that this person is noble and this person is evil. This person, yeah, he is given a script that makes him act evil. And therefore, based on the script, depending on the evil he or she does, he will get back that also. That's why in the end, the hero wins, usually. Not usually, the hero always wins in the end. Satyameva jayate. Truth alone triumphs. Dharmo rakshati rakshita. The rules protect you. And the villain is defeated and it's a happy ending. That's what happens. But we always remember that nobody is higher than the other, nobody is lower than the other. And that is how we do Atma-dharma and Paradharma. We remember the truth that all of us are the same. But I have been given a role as a father, as a speaker, and I should not confuse myself for the role and get egoistic or get depressed. It would be absolutely wrong of me to think that I'm a great speaker, I speak very well. I'm saying this as a reminder to myself because these thoughts sometimes come. I'm running a successful YouTube channel. So many people listen to me. So many people are inspired by me. No. It is just that Swami has given me that role. My script and my role demands that. That's all. It could have been different, nothing. So there is no need to feel that somebody is high, somebody is low. The Lord is giving us. And therefore, it is important that we stick to the script as well. Having been given this role, it is important that I do this role. I need to immerse myself in reading about Swami, sharing Swami stories. Yes, that is my role I need to do. Otherwise, the movie will go a flop. The movie will become flop, If the hero comes and tells the villain that, hey, I will not hit you. I know you are my friend. We had tea yesterday night together. The director will say, cut, cut, cut. Hey, no. Boss, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to shout at him. You're supposed to hit him. You're supposed to fight. Oh, but I love him. Then you have not understood the concept of movie. Both is ego. If I identify myself with the role so much that I think that I hate somebody and love somebody, it is my ego and I'm in Maya. If I say that I don't want to do my role because after all this is illusion, Swami himself performed the role to perfection. Swami, when he would take women for interview, he would always take them in a group. He'll never do a one-on-one. Why? It is divine, right? He is God. No. When he has come, he has taken a form, he follows. He himself followed. Swami would say that example as well. He would say that these traffic lights are there, traffic rules are there. The Supreme Commissioner of the police, who is the head of the police, he can just put on a siren and he need not follow any rules. Swami would say that he need not follow any rules. He can break the signals. He can do anything. Just put on the siren and drive anywhere. You would have seen that happening. But though they have the power to break the rules, they will be the ones who will stick to the rules the most. They will never break the rules unless an exceptional situation comes. And therefore, Swami would say, even the avatar is like that. The rules have been made by the avatar. The avatar can break the rules. The avatar is beyond the rules, but the avatar will stick to the rules to set an ideal. If the head of traffic police himself or herself is not following the rules, what is it? No. So he or she sets an ideal. In the same way, the avatar follows the rules. Only in exceptional situations, the avatar will change the rules and make it. So that is the importance of dharma, and that is why we need to understand. And as I said, whenever we come across what we call as moral dilemmas or dharam sankat, where we are not able to choose between two right paths, right and wrong. First of all, the first level of understanding dharma is to understand right and wrong and choose the right over wrong. Let us reach that level first. Then there comes a level where we get confused between two right, which is more right. And for that, we have to go to the fundamental dharma, which is Atma-dharma, which is based on the premise that all of us are divine. And the easiest way is to get in touch with the conscience, because Swami within will guide us on what needs to be done. And once we get that guidance, it's just about having the courage to follow it. Because many times, believe it or not, we know what is right. It is not that we don't know what is right. It's just that we don't have the guts, we don't have the courage to follow what is right. So dharma is not just about knowing what is right and wrong. It's also about having the courage to do what is right and having the courage to oppose what is wrong. Dear Swami, just like that Dharma program back in 2004, I know that my understanding of Dharma is work in progress always. But over these 18 years, I have been able to experience this Dharma by your grace. And I'm sure that has been the only way all of us understand Dharma as well, experiencing it because of your grace. May we continue to grow in our understanding of Dharma. May we follow Dharma. May we feel you and your love always in heart. May all our thoughts, words, and deeds be suffused with love, because love in thought is Shanti, peace. Love in word is Satya, truth. Love in action is Dharma. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Thank you, Brother Arvind, for a simply amazing and inspiring discourse. You really simplified the definition of dharma for me. It will be something I will always remember. We will move to questions now. The first question is, Brother, you talked about Swami saying allow for individual choice of adharma. But if that adharma affects you or the people around you, then is it our dharma to stand up against it?
Yes. Again, it depends on your circumstances, on your position in life. For example, in the Mahabharata, when Draupadi was disrobed, so Swami always says that Bhishma, Drona, Dhritarashtra, these are the people who kept silent. Again, as I say, forgive me for using Mahabharata and Ramayana. And it's so important that we know these stories in depth. I'm very happy to say that my 7-year-old daughter, Bhakti, knows the entire Ramayana and Mahabharata. It becomes easy when you know the story because you can easily identify the message. So in discourses also, when Swami says that they kept silent, they didn't speak up. Swami never criticizes the soldier in the Kaurava court. He also equally witnessed the disrobing of Draupadi. But he's not in a position of power to advise or guide. I'm saying this because personally I went through this situation where I felt some things happening was wrong. And in my power, what is there? Suppose the CEO of a company is doing wrong and you are an executive. What you'll go and oppose it? You can oppose it at your level. You can tell your manager, I'm not going to do this. And if the manager says that you do it or else you will not be allowed to stay, then you stay. You quit. You are in no position to transform the CEO. So at your level, what you need to do, you have to do. And remember, not doing anything is also adharma. Swami would say there are 5 sinners: those who commit the sin, those who watch the sin being committed, those who have encouraged the sin, those who know that it is a sin and don't do anything about it. All of them are equally party to the sin. And therefore, so when I was in this situation, I tried in my level possible that what I can go, and I tried to speak to people, I tried to tell people, and then I felt so helpless. I said, Swami, I don't know what to do. And I'm telling you, at such times you pray to Swami, Swami responds. I still remember I played a discourse when I was in this situation, and Swami said, in fact, it was this very situation that I spoke about that Swami was speaking in that discourse. Swami is speaking about this adharma that happened in the Kaurava court, and Swami says that those who didn't oppose were destroyed mercilessly. However good Bhishma is, however good and dharmic Drona has been, because of this, they're just destroyed. And so you shouldn't be party to it. And I said, Swami, but I am feeling that I'm in a Kaurava court, and my voice is not. I'm not in a Bhishma or Drona situation. I'm like a soldier there. Then Swami says in that same discourse, if you're not able to oppose, what to do? Swami says, be like Vidura. Who was Vidura? Vidura was one of the people in the Kaurava court who got up and said, what is happening is wrong. And when they didn't listen to him, he just left the court and walked away. So Swami says, if that comes, then you don't be party to it. You walk away. You walk away from that. Walk away and be away from the situation. Don't be anyway involved in it. Because anything that once you know that some person or some party or some team or some country or anything is adharmic, some organization is adharmic, so you feel that this organization is adharmic and you have left. Some phone manufacturing organization is adharmic and you have left. You left, but you go and still buy their phones. It is still participating in adharma because you know it is wrong and you're doing things that support that organization. So you keep away totally from that. If you feel that this phone manufacturer is adharmic, I try to go and change the CEO and the board of directors. But if I'm not in a position, I'm just an executive, I'll quit that company. I'll quit that company and I will ensure that I don't use the phones of that company, however dire my need may be. I'm just giving an analogy so that you understand that way. So it is important. Remember that in the war for dharma, there is no bystander. A bystander is adharmic only. You have to pick one of the sides and be on the side of dharma. Which side do you pick? Pick the side of dharma. Pick the side of Swami. And that you will get guidance from your own heart. Because depending on each one's evolution, where we are supposed to be differs. As I said sometime back, I felt ask Swami for everything. Now I feel don't ask anything. I will not say that the ideal thing is not to ask for anything. No, it depends. It depends. So that answer you will get from your heart. You will know what is right, what is wrong. Once you get that, have the courage to follow it. If you have the power to actively oppose it, actively oppose it. If you have the power to passively oppose it, passively oppose it. If you have no power to oppose it in the current circumstances, get away from it and don't be associated with it in any way.
Thank you, brother. That was a beautiful explanation. We will now go to the question posted on the YouTube. Sometimes it's hard to love someone who has wronged you. What is the dharma we should follow? Should we bear the wrong silently, or should we walk away from the toxic? I think you've answered that question somewhat. If you want to add something to it.
No, if it is somebody who is important to you in your life, you say it is somebody dear to you who is doing wrong, I think you just need to evaluate. Again, this is an evolution, because Swami gives an example of how, I forget her name. There was this lady, Muslim Sufi saint, who, both her children die, and she tells her husband when he comes back home that, Allah had given us a pair of earrings and he has taken it back. Her husband says, oh, okay, fine. Then she says, no, these are my children. And he's shocked. How can you talk of your children as earrings? It's not that she didn't love her children, but she had reached that level of wisdom. So again, depending on her evolution, it will vary. But at our position in the evolution, we need to evaluate whether we feel that relationship is more important. If the relationship is more important, then we need to put in effort to try to change that person, because that person is dear to us. But if we feel no, it doesn't matter, ultimately it's, for whatever reason, then just let go. Yeah, you do what you are, and I don't want to be associated with it because I'm convinced that it is wrong. Finally, it's an individual journey. Your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, your brother, sister, children, nobody will come along with you in this journey. It's your individual journey to make. And depending on our stage in the journey, we'll have to take a decision. That's why I say, that's why dharma becomes so difficult, because there's no one rule like that. But the single thing could be to go and get the answer from within, because Swami says that he is there within each person as the conscience and guiding what needs to be done, and have the courage to follow it.
Thank you. So I think a follow-up question on that is the war and lots of adharmic actions affect the whole world, all good people too, like inflation, jobs, food, finance, etc. How do we make sense of that?
Yeah. So it is very simple, I think. It's just like, suppose there is a thorn that pricks your leg. It hurts the whole body. And if it's a big injury, it becomes gangrenous. If it affects the life of the whole body. So when a thorn or when a needle or when something pricks your leg, the eye has to see where it is and the hand has to pluck it out. Now, if you're the kidney, what will you do? You can't do anything much about it, right? So that is why Swami would, when we would say for Swami's birthday, Swami, for Swami's 85th birthday, we want to do something special, Swami. What should we do? Swami would tell you do what job you have been given correctly. That's all. That's all. And I feel that's how the Lord works. You are given a role, you perform that well, he'll promote you to a higher role and more important role. More important in the worldly sense, where you can influence more people, where you can influence things. So at our level, you do well. You are seeing injustice happening in Iraq and crying about it, or some inflation, something. It's all, again, I say dharma, karma. There was a time when whole of Europe was crying that we are getting immigrants from Africa, immigrants from Africa. Go back 300 years in history. It is the invaders from Europe who plundered and ravaged and ransacked Africa, leaving nothing behind there. And so the Africans don't have anything to, and so they immigrate, they travel, and now it's coming back. And now you're telling we don't want Africans? You went on your own to Africa and plundered. Now you're telling you don't want African. I'm just giving as an example. If you look at history, finally it just boils down to dharma and karma. So therefore, there's no need to get overwhelmed with how do I set right the world. It's not about setting right the world. Swami said your dharma is a lamp that will help you navigate. In fact, I forgot one more beautiful analogy that Swami gives in the Dharma Vahini. Swami says about Hiranyakashipu and Prahalada. Again, all these Sanatana Dharma scriptures are very metaphorical. So again, I don't have time to go into the story of that. But those who know the story, Swami says, this Hiranyakashipu, it is supposed to be Satya Yuga. This story happened in the Satya Yuga, which means it is the best of times, right? The golden age. But Swami says it wasn't golden age for Hiranyakashipu. It was the worst of times for him. It was the best of times for Prahalada. So Swami says, don't tell, oh, these times are only bad. Kali Kalam, this is the Kali age. This is how I can do. No. Swami says that time doesn't determine dharma. Dharma determines what age you are in. So Prahalada followed dharma, had love for God. It was golden age for him. Hiranyakashipu hated God and went against the principles of God. It was the worst of times for him. So Swami says, this golden age is again a very personal concept. You follow dharma, you live a life of love for God, it will be the best of times for you. You don't bother about others. Therefore, I think before we think of world problem, global problem is affecting everyone, forget all of that. I'm a kidney, what can I do? I'm a lung, what can I do? I'm a finger, what can I do? I'm a toenail, what can I do? Which means my role, first of all, I think the first stage of being dharmic is to be professional. I mean, when I'm doing my work, am I doing it correctly, diligently? So therefore, do the work for Swami. Don't do it for the sake of boss, for the sake of a presentation, for the sake of, you can cheat anybody, you can't cheat yourself and you can't cheat Swami. So being professional, yoga karmasu kaushalam, Swami would say, being professional and being perfect in your actions. So whatever it is, so as a mother, as a wife, as a husband, that is where, all those things, all those different chapters of Dharma Vahini come into use. So forget about solving global problems. Can I ensure that there is peace, harmony, and love at home? I used to feel that when you get married, so many, whether it's a arranged marriage, whether it's a love marriage, whatever it is, there is so much of friction that happens between the spouses, between the husband and wife. How much it happens? It's because it's actually an expansion of love. Till we get married, the only person we think of is possibly ourselves. We love ourselves the most. After marriage, you're supposed to share your life with one other person, and we find it so hard. Our ultimate objective and goal is to love the whole world. And I feel that is why in our scriptures, they say there are 4 ashramas or 4 stages. Brahmacharya ashrama, where you get educated. Grahastha ashrama, where you get married. You have to grow in your love. If you cannot love one other person, how can you love the world? And the moment you feel that, yes, I think we have developed some understanding, Swami sends one child. Now let me see if we can expand it to 3 people. Can you expand it to 4 people? Then from Grihastha ashram, you move to Vanaprastha ashram, where you are caring for society. Can you care for your community? Can you love everyone in your Sai center equally, like how you love your children and wife and a husband? Grow, that is how we grow. And finally I reach a level of Swami where I love the entire world. So before solving the problems of the entire world and bringing world peace and world harmony, can I bring harmony within myself? Can that expand to my family? Can that expand to my community? Can that expand to my state, to my country? And that's why we even do Jyoti meditation in that manner, right? We start with first light in me, let me be lit. If I am not lit, I can't spread any Jyoti anywhere. If I'm a beggar begging for $3, I can't give $100. To give away $100, I need to have $1,000. To radiate happiness and peace, I must have that much happiness and peace. So it always begins with ourselves.
Beautifully explained. Thank you. From your example of that phone company, I think we have some children who are asking some questions on YouTube. They're saying, should we avoid purchasing or using anything that a bad person makes, even if what he or she makes is good, just based on the fact that it is made by a bad person? For example, Walt Disney supported Hitler, but they make good shows.
So now, again, this is just my understanding. It becomes very difficult to say Walt Disney supported Hitler. Now, Walt Disney, there are 10,000 people working in Walt Disney possibly. And possibly there's a saint who is working there. There's a self-realized person who is working there. There is also another person. So I'm saying it's quite complicated in that sense to just paint everything with one brush. Therefore, whatever Walt Disney makes is bad. I mean, no. I'm saying that is where we go back to this fundamental of love. So when you watch something that Walt Disney produced, what happened within you? Did you feel love? Did you feel nobility? Did you feel goodness? Then watch it. When you watch that Walt Disney movie or whatever, if the thought that came is, hey, these fellows support Hitler, hey, these fellows are doing wrong, these fellows are young, then don't watch. If it is giving birth to anger, irritation, and hatred within you, don't watch. If it is giving birth to love, to peace, to nobility, the motivation to help others, watch. That's why I say all these comes when we are doing at an intellectual level. Go to the fundamental love in action. Is it motivating you to love more, to help more, to be peaceful more, to be united more? Then watch it. Because how can you, means when you say Walt Disney supported, what supported Hitler? I mean, the company supported, the board of the company, or Walt Disney himself supported. Then he's dead and gone. I mean, now somebody else is running the company. Who? Now, what if the cartoonist who drew that Bambi cartoon is one who loves is Mirabai? Mirabai did that. I'm just giving as an example. Somebody who loves God so much did that cartoon. What about that then? I mean, so it becomes very difficult to go like this at an intellectual level. That's why all the feedback mechanism, everything is within. And that's why it is a personal journey, and nobody can cheat anybody because you know within. The same movie, are movies good or bad? Yes, Swami would say avoid movies because they inflame the passions of the mind. But after some time, you cannot, just keep away from everything in the world. And this, I can find bad with everything. Swami would give the example again, Dharma example. Swami says that Krishna told Duryodhana, that is the Kaurava brother, go and find one good person in the world. And he told Dharmaraja, go and find one bad person in the world. And both come back with similar replies. Yudhishthira says, Krishna, everybody is so good. There's no bad only. If at all there's any bad person, maybe it is me. And Duryodhana also comes and tells, Krishna, there's no good person only in this world. Nobody is good. Everybody is a rogue. If at all anybody is good, it's me only, I think. Both of them went to the same world, right? So Swami would say that it's not in the Srishti, it's in your Drishti. It is you who can see good or bad. So therefore, the feedback mechanism is also inside you. Not just watching a movie. When you see anything, there is a romantic Hindi movie that I saw, and Swami is proof for that. When I saw that, I got tears of love for Swami. I felt, oh my God, I remembered Swami so much. But the same movie can inspire romance. It can inspire lust, possibly. It can inspire hate. Anything it can inspire. So therefore, you have to be honest to yourself and see, because you can't cheat yourself. It is going to come back to you, your reaction. So you see what it is inspiring in you. If it is, that's why I said, I did not say that one organization is wrong, other organization is right. It can vary depending on each person's experience and Desha Kala Paristhiti. I left an organization thinking it is wrong because I am convinced that it is wrong. But that same organization is supporting so many good people because it depends. There's nothing like absolute right and absolute wrong. So depending on what you feel within, when you feel motivation, when you feel love, when you feel peace, when you feel harmony in your heart, that is the path of your dharma. That's all.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I hope the kids got it. I think we go to our last question because we are out of time. It's the last question says, Baba says faith is the foundation of Atmic Dharma. This is especially for our Bal Vikas kids. What are some of the sadhanas you would recommend to develop faith for them?
I think for the children to develop faith, see this, I think the best way is, when you say faith, faith in what? Faith in God. What is faith in God? What is this concept of God? Concept of God or Swami as God means here is somebody who is most loving and most powerful. These are two important characteristics of God, I feel. God is the most powerful, which means there's no force in the universe that is stronger than him. And God is also the most loving. There's no force in the universe that can give more love than God. Why is this important? Because when God is most powerful, only he can do whatever and save us. And if God is most loving, only he can do anything for us. Like, I'm such a terrible guy. I do so many things wrong. And yet, why does Swami love? Because he's most loving. So therefore, I feel two characteristics for God is most powerful and most loving. And I feel faith is remembering this always, that God is most powerful and God is most loving. What is the implication of God being most powerful and God being most loving? The implication is that whatever is happening to me is good for me. Because if I think that something wrong is happening to me or something bad is happening to me, that means I'm doubting either God's power or God's love. Because either God is not powerful enough to stop it from happening to me, he's not powerful, or God is powerful but he doesn't care about me. See, that's why he's allowing it to happen to me. But if God is most powerful and God also loves me the most, then if he's allowing something to happen to me, just like a mother or father will take their baby and go to the vaccination center and give a vaccination, despite knowing that it's going to hurt the baby a lot, doesn't mean that they don't love the baby. They love the baby in a way that the baby also cannot understand. When the baby grows up and doesn't get tuberculosis or some dreaded disease, will the baby tell, thank you, dad, for giving me, or thank you, mom, for giving me that vaccination? Like that, only God's love is like that. Sometimes we get pokes and pricks that we do not understand, but which is good for us. So faith is just like that baby, despite me carrying the baby and getting it poked, next time it gets hurt, no, my daughter comes back to me only, because the daughter knows that, hey, my father loves me, my mother loves me. So it won't say that, you cruel people, I don't want to stay with you, I will sue you in court and go. No, 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 nothing like that. So that is what I think is developing faith. And whatever happens, we love Swami and we tell Swami that, Swami, this is for my good, this is for my good, to keep telling ourselves whatever happens. So it helps us be humble also. When if you get the top rank in your class, just remember that it is for your good, and that's why Swami gave it to you. That's all. Swami could have given it to anybody else, right? Like a role in a drama. Swami could have given that rank to anybody else. So no need to get proud. No need to think that I am the greatest, I am best. No, no, no. Swami, it's your grace. At the same time, when I don't get a good result, no need to be harsh on myself and say I'm useless, I'm good for nothing, I don't think I can study. No, no, no. This failure or this bad result, so-called bad result, is good for me. That's why Swami gave it. I accept it, Swami. So it helps us remain peaceful and non-egoistic and humble. So I think the best way to develop faith is to constantly, whatever happens in life, whatever is happening, keep thinking, this is what Swami wants, Swami. Thank you, Swami. Can I thank Swami for everything that happens through the day? I think that would be a good practice, in my opinion.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother.
Wow, brothers, like I'm speechless, but I have to do my duty of dharma of becoming saying the vote of thanks. I have no choice to speak, but I was keep praying, Swami, that Swami slow down the clock, because otherwise, brothers, we didn't even realize that 1 hour, 1.5 hours just passed off. So thank you so much, brother. I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest, most powerful, and most loving Swami. Firstly, thank you, Swami, for showing light of Dharma through this enlightened Dharma Vahini on the talk. And then I still remember the last time, like when Brother Satyajit was speaking to us, he did mention that how Swami used to write all these Vahinis of Sanatan for the Sanatan Sardi by waking up early in the morning, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. sometimes, and sitting in sometimes even in the washroom with a small light so that it doesn't disturb all the devotees. So much love, right? And then on time submitting or giving all these discourses to Professor Kasturi, despite of his busy schedule. Our sincere gratitude to Swami for showing so much 1,000 mothers love on all of us, like writing Dharma Vahini and all these Vahinis for us. And then today is like we are able to actually is like able to do satsang on them. Thank you, Swami, firstly. And thank you, Brother Aravind, for sharing very insightful wisdom. Words short full of like express our gratitude to use like for incredible analogies and exemplary explanation of your understanding of dharma and karma. The most I love basically is the love in words is the truth, love in action is dharma, and then love in thoughts in peace, and that unity and purity of the thought, word, and deed, and how beautifully you evolved it as the talk went on to say that basically the Swami in words is the truth, and then Swami is in actions is dharma, and then Swami in thoughts is the peace. How beautiful it is. And dharma is the light which we hold to, and in the path we walk in this world. So it was so beautiful. Something to really take away. I just noted down for myself from this satsang is practicing to the best, to be a best actor in this play of life with an understanding of the reality, the truth. And the course of action I'm carrying from this session, brother, is introspecting every thought, word, and deed, basically, whether it is emerging out of love or not. Many of us been enjoying your wonderful analogies on different aspects of spiritualities, like in your videos. And then today we are very fortunate to have you in live and then interacting with us, sharing your wisdom, and kindly clarifying all our questions. You have a big following across Canada, I can say confidently. So on behalf of SSIO Canada, thank you so much, Brother Aravind, for accommodating us in your busy schedule. I know, I understand. And especially it's like last month, we all know your father has actually emerged with Swami, and then we all pray for him. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And,
thank you.
Thank you, brother. And on behalf of SSIO Canada, we also want to thank I want to also thank our SSIO leadership, Brother Shiva's Sister Preeti, for their constant support and their encouragement in doing all the programs here. And most importantly, I want to mention for their commendable job of the media team who is helping us all through this, starting from the poster, sharing the social media, designing the slides, for maintaining everything, and then what we are watching, everything is live on the YouTube right now. There's a team who is working amazingly, is doing all the dry runs. Thank you, every one of you in the media team, Sister Pamela, Nitin, Nitya, Kirtiha, and Anuja. Your team is amazing. Thank you so much for that. And on behalf of the devotional team, Kamala ji is myself and Brother Raman. Thank you all the audience for joining us today for this wonderful satsang. And we'll, without delay, we'll go for Swami's Aarti and the closing prayers. Thank you everyone for joining. Today is amazing days. There's so much to carry forward. Thank you, brother.
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक गणपति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्व प्राणपते स्वामी सर्व प्राणपते आश्रितकल्पलतिका आश्रितकल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्रशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगलहारति अंदुको मंगलहारति अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय
समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
May all the beings in all the worlds be happy. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy. May all the beings in all the worlds